Nutcracker podcast.
Hello, everyone. Hi again on the third episode for today. Now I have Mihaela Lemeni with me from Three Pillar Global. She will tell us their unique story and how the company started, what is the biggest challenge and the solution. You already know it. Mihaela, thank you very much for joining us today on this podcast. How are you today? How is
Yeah.
the event going for you?
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, Alice. It's great being here. And I'm very happy that we finally meet you because we worked for quite some time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a pleasure. Tell us more about your company. When it started, how many employees you have, what do you do, what problem you're resolving?
Yes. So Tripilar Global is a software delivering company, is an outsourcing company. It has a global presence in Europe. We are present in Romania, in Czechia. We are expanding in other countries as well with your help, I believe. And we have a very good presence in America, in Latin America. We are also having offices in India. We have over 2,000 employees. We are present in a lot of industries like
Mhm.
healthcare, financial, high tech companies. For example, we work with Cisco. We work with companies in the media sector. We work with the Telegraph, with PBS. So we have a very large base of customers.
That's a lot of people. What is your role in the company?
Yeah, so my role is director of product development.
Mhm.
I run couple of projects, big projects like over 200 people that are distributed globally. That work with stakeholders, with clients in different areas, in different countries, in different industries. And my role would be to offer support for delivery,
Mhm.
for people management, and implementing different processes in the company.
That's amazing, Michaela. So you mentioned um, various industries where you help your customers and so on, and also like a huge number of employees, right? Team members, 2,000 team members, right? How is it to have a team that diverse, and what are your is this your biggest challenge? Is this your nut to crack, which is our main topic today, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think the complexity here comes because there are a lot of people distributed globally, and Three Pillar grew also organically, but also by acquiring other companies
Yeah.
which had different processes, which had different cultures, and especially after the pandemics, I think the relationship between people is becoming more transactional, so to
Yeah.
say.
True.
The culture, the company culture needs to adapt to also engage with remote people, also with people that come in the office. And this is the biggest challenge. How do you manage your team? How do you manage your team members? How do you adapt to the different challenges by the culture, by the different personalities, and in this rapidly evolving environment, our jobs are changing.
Yeah.
The clients are more demanding. The industry is more demanding. So the biggest challenge is to have the managers be able to adapt rapidly to manage their team members.
Yeah, I can relate so much to that because native teams were also like quite diverse, and you said it right. Everything is changing, and I think is the change is the only constant that companies are having nowadays. So I totally agree with you. As a company, what are your strategies to actually find a solution for these challenges? What do you intentionally do to resolve this?
Yes. So, as a company, we understand that the role of the manager is changing rapidly.
Yeah.
We need to manage delivery. We need to manage client expectation. We need to manage team members. We need to adapt, as I said, to the different cultures. So, this is the biggest challenge, I would say, right now. And what we're trying to do is to have different initiatives, different programs, processes to support and to support the managers, invest in them, and offer them the tools and the process to be able to manage their teams, manage the client, and adapt to the change, to the highly changing environment.
Yeah. And I have a follow up
Mm.
question. Let's say, because you are, as you said, in Brazil as well and in many other different countries. Do you have any examples where, let's say, a manager has to go and work in Brazil? What is that they have to unlearn about their management skills? Because we know that wherever you go, you have to localize yourself, or the Brazilians are calling it tropicalizing, right? You have to adjust to the cultural differences and so on. Do you have any examples of what they need to unlearn? Like, I'll give you my example, you guys. I've been there like 2 weeks ago, and the feedback that I got from my colleagues was, you have to smile more. Like, you can't speak with team members like this in Brazil. You have to smile more. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that feedback into consideration, which never happened to me in other countries with my other colleagues and so on. But it was so like eye opening that, okay, in Brazil I have to smile more. Somebody even said, you need to meet the parents, you need to go to their house, right there. And I'm like, all right, this is very useful for me. Do you have examples like that where, managers have to adapt to local markets?
Yes, I think it's how you create the relation with your team members.
Mm.
So, for example, in as you mentioned, we are very different,
Yeah,
and in some countries, the people prefer to have just a direct conversation, just about their task, their day-to-day job, the project, receive feedback,
yeah. Very
just on the
direct
yes,
approach.
very
Yeah,
direct.
exactly.
Others. Understand if you talk with them directly, understand that you don't care about
Yes,
them.
yes, yes,
you
yes.
you do not know anything about them,
Yeah.
and in other countries, in other cultures, it's very important to try to relate to the employee, to ask them about their family, about how they feel, about how was their day. So I think this is the thing that managers would need to understand and to adapt to. How do you relate to the different
Hmm.
people in the different countries, in different cultures, and
Yeah,
how do you create this relation with them?
exactly. Is it easier, Michaela, to hire local managers, or is it the managers that you have to, train them or teach them how to localize them? How did you find the balance here?
Yeah, I think at least in the IT area where we work globally, the clients are all over the globe. The team members, the teams are distributed all over the globes.
Hmm.
I think speaking about local and global, it's doesn't have to be put like this, because I
Yeah.
think we cannot speak about local managers or local teams, because even if you would hire locally, yes, probably they would be more close to the culture, but people, for example, people do not go to the offices these
Yeah.
days, and even if they are here, they would not meet, they would still meet online. So I think that we shouldn't think about hire locally. We should just try to offer their support, the manager to offer support to relate to their team. And I think where we should invest is travel, to have them travel to
Yeah.
different locations,
Yeah.
meet their team members, and embrace the culture. Because this way, they would be it would be very easy for them to adapt, to learn, and to understand how can they create this relation.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I totally agree with you. Traveling and actually adapting and learning about your colleagues has a greater impact than, as you say, thinking about only hiring locally. Yeah, that's beautiful. I have three more questions for you, but really quick ones, I promise. And you guys, I need to use my phone for this. So, let's say, what is the weirdest compliance rule you've seen in all of the countries where you are?
The weirdest compliance rule. Yes, I saw managers that were measuring the breaks for their employees. So
Hmm.
if someone needed to go and have some water or smoke a cigarette, they would measure.
Oh my God, that is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This toilet time also can be measured, right?
we we shouldn't go that way for sure.
Shouldn't go
That's for
that way.
sure.
All right. Thank you for that. Other one. If time and money weren't an issue, which country would you expand to next?
Yes. If time and money weren't an
Yes.
issue, okay. I think at least us considering the projects and where we have a big base for some of our biggest projects, we would go in Poland,
Poland.
Serbia, Hungary. Why? Because they are very close to the culture that we have
Yeah.
in Europe, in Romania, and would make it easier for us to expand.
To go there. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I wish that it would happen really soon to you guys. And the
Yeah.
last question for today, in 3 words, what is the key to scaling successfully?
To scale. Yes. So to scale successfully, you would need to invest in your processes. Because yeah, it's very important to
Yes.
to have clear processes when you
Yes.
scale. It's very important to understand that you need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable. And the last word would be people. Invest in people because in the end, yeah, they are your biggest assets, right?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And thank you, Michaela. We're finishing this
Yep.
podcast with a really nice message. As she said, you guys, is clear process, adaptability or flexibility, and people, which matters the most. Let's not forget that. Thank you, Michaela, for this
Thank you,
beautiful,
Alex.
authentic story that you have, and I wish you all the best.
Yes. Thank you,
Thank
Alex.
you.
Thank you.
Go global, not nuts.